tender arms. Well, I love you oh so bad, darling, reach out, feel me with your touch. Let me wrap you in my warm, tender arms. Well, I love you for a long, long time. Darling, say you'll be mine. Let me wrap you in my warm and tender arms. Now let me wrap you in my warm and tender arms. Let me wrap you in my warm and tender arms. Well, I love you for a long, 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 long time, darling. Say you'll be mine. Let me wrap you in my warm. Let me wrap you in my warm. Come on, come on, come on, baby.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Duncan Showroom for Eugene Smith's Tales and Travels, or Stories and Tunage, as Ted would say. Tunage. We're a professional unit here. It's edition number 30, and we all survived Valentine's Day. Spring is on its way in BC. It's looking good, Gene. How you feeling?
Well, it's like this, Billy.
It's like this kid.
No, it feels great, you know. Got up this morning, the sun was shining, and it's warming up, and the flowers are starting to bloom. So I'm feeling pretty good.
The blood is coursing through your veins. I can see it.
Yeah.
Well, you phoned me last night and left me a joyful message in a French accent. I thought, oh, Gene's really full of vim and vigor there. Holy moly, watch out.
That's French? That was supposed to be Jamaican.
Oh, really? Well, French Jamaican, right? Yeah, that's right. It sounded great, whatever it was. We've got a very special guest next week whose name I can say.
Oh, yeah.
Because we had Chris Whiteley early on. This was like November or December we had Chris, I believe. Early in the process. He was maybe our first guest after we got through many, many, many afternoons of you telling stories of your life. And we've got his lovely partner, Diana Braithwaite, next week.
No, Billy.
No, what?
Louis Lawless.
Oh, that's wrong, Bill. So two weeks from now. Good thing I wrote this down. Professional outfit here. That's right. Louis Lawless, the filmmaker, next week. And
Yes.
2 weeks hence is Diana Braithwaite. And we'll be back to our 5 p.m. spot, so do not despair. Folk Alliance International going on here at the showroom, and they're doing some great tape shows as well as a couple of live spots to the Folk Alliance. So that's a great feather in the cap of the Duncan Showroom. Ted and Trevor on the technics. Let it go, boys.
And Billy, how are you?
Me?
Yeah.
I am also full of piss and vinegar, Gene. It just, thus Taurus is, as soon as that grass starts to grow, we get excited. I'm depressed all winter, and as soon as spring hits, I'm like...
You're better.
In rut, yeah. Better. Although being in rut at 60 is quite different, I must say. It's more of a mental thing, a thought. Let's get on from there.
Yeah.
You going to start us with a song?
I was wondering where you were going with
that. I didn't know, so I had to get out of it quick.
I watched, because I can't see you. You can see me, can't you?
Only on the screen here. You're looking good.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
You know what I look like, though.
Yeah, I do. Well, I was just thinking about Laurel and Hardy. I watched a movie made about them,
right.
when their careers were ending.
Oh.
Yeah, it was kind of touching.
Did they get along all the way through?
Brought a tear to my eye. Yeah, they did actually. They were best of friends.
Yeah.
And even after Hardy died, Stan Laurel just kept writing different funny things. He kept writing scripts for the two of them, like little ditties.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Even after he had passed away, and
wow,
he did that for the rest of his life.
Did he ever perform them with someone else?
No. That was just something that he would just sit and write.
So they're sitting there. You and I could do them. I hope that by the time we get to number 40 and 50, we're not like Sonny, Terry, and Brownie McGee, where we just can't stand each other.
Nah, we'll be like the Defiant ones.
The Defiant
Sidney
ones.
Poitier and Tony Curtis will be like them.
Oh, there you go. Those guys. That's a better duo. Nice. Well, we got Joe Gancher, Charlie and Kate tuning in from London. Bill and Pat, hi from Toronto. Peter Russlin, local fella. Ooh. Hi to Steve-O, who came to the Cowichan Valley with Pat Temple's great band, playing the 1991 Islands Folk Festival and never left until recently. Pete's done all my historical work for me there, Steve. Good work. Another great guest for Eugene's global live stream. Nice work, Pete. I said the name, but we'll say it again when we introduce him. And I almost said Victoria says, so glad to hear that voice again. I guess she means mine, does she? She gets to hear yours all the time. Thank you, Victoria. Wow. That's not what she meant.
No, that's what she meant.
Oh, and I must tell people, you guys did a very romantic thing on Valentine's Day, and you had dinner by Skype.
By Zoom, yes.
So that was very cool idea, Victoria. Way to go. All right, young fellow, why don't you fire up the pipes there?
Okay, I can do that. I'll do a quick one and then a quick one.
Okay.
This is a tune that I hope I can remember. No, that's not what it's called.
That's not what it's called?
No. I suddenly realized that, no. Where do we go from here? Gentle breezes blowing, trees swaying to and fro. A meadowlark sings its happy song as a tear trickles down a baby's cheek. Phone call from a friend, oh, far. My, oh, my. Has it been that long? Ruth, what does it mean? Where do we go from here? What does it mean? Oh, it's oh so clear in my heart. Love songs being sung about the harvest moon. Autumn colors remind us all winter's coming on, needs a room. Time for champions to rest. Ruth, what does it mean? Where do we go from here? What does it mean? Well, it's oh so clear in my heart. I may not always know what tomorrow will bring, with all the writing on the wall. All I can do, live from day to day, and hope the pieces fall together, yeah. Smoke-filled room, small bar in a country town. I hear laughter in the corner. People up front singing harmony. Wow, it sounds so good to me. Yeah. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, ba-da-da-da-dum, gentle breezes blowing, trees swing to and fro. A meadowlark sings its happiest song as a tear trickles down the baby's cheek. Phone call from a friend, oh, afar. My, oh, my, my, oh, my. Has it been that long? Ruth, what does it mean? Where do we go from here? What does it mean? Well, it's all so clear in my heart.
Ruth, what a great song. I love that one.
Thank you.
Man, well, you're in good form this fine day, my friend.
I feel good, yeah. Well, yeah, my voice seems to be staying right there where I need it to go. Whenever I wanted to do something, it seems to be able to do it so far. So, hey.
Well, you're not out in the street yelling at the neighbors. I think that helps. Don't strain your voice. That's the main thing. Our guest today coming to us from Brentwood Bay, where he's moved in the last year, I guess, or in the less than the last year. Informs us he just retired in October. And I've known Steve for many years. I don't know how many years. Steve-O, as Peter calls him. Steve McKinnon, certainly associated through the Islands Folk Fest. And we did meet him when he first came out with Pat Temple, one of the infamous High Lonesome Players, that great band. And also, one of the neat things about Steve was that while I was running jams, and you'll appreciate this, Gene, because you've had your trials running jams in the Valley. But when Steve would come up, of course, you could just breathe a sigh of relief because it was going to be a solid set. And he used to come out a lot because he was working out his new tunes and quite a good songwriter. And also doing really interesting covers. So it was just a treat, really, amongst all the other things that happen in a jam to have Steve come out. And as with many bass players, man, just a solid guitar player and a good songwriter. The J.J. Charlebois of the world, the Todd Smileys, the Marty Joneses. Those guys pick up a guitar, they mean business. So glad to have you here, Steve. Why don't you come on up the Fred Astaire stairs, the stairs of fame. There he is. This is your life.
This is your life, yeah.
I don't think we can steal that, but that was, CBC fame. Huh.
When I first met Steve, you were playing with Monty Nordstrom at the Brigantine.
Oh, that's right.
That's when I first met you, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. The infamous, was that the Sunday night? You did the Sunday nights for a long time, Steve?
With Monty, I did them for about 5 years.
Oh, my Lord. Those were different times. We used to all go out on Sunday nights, didn't we? And we'd stay out late, no matter that we had to work Monday, and it'd be like 1 a.m., and we'd, drive home safely. But those were raucous days. It's funny how much things have changed.
Well, I had to go to church first. But
you had to go to church first.
Made for a long, long day.
That's right. Do you miss your rock and roll lifestyle?
I miss playing with Monty.
Yes.
He's cool. He's got a good vibe, and he's always brings 110%. So it was a thrill.
That's right.
The brig used to be just filled. Well, it reminded me of the Queens. That's what the Queens down in Nanaimo. That's what the brig was like back then, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
soon as the band started playing, people up on the dance floor dancing. And it was quite something. All the old hippies.
That's right.
So you've been keeping well? Your new life in Brentwood Bay. You enjoying it?
Yeah, I'm trying to be organized about it. I got a lot of free time now.
It's tricky, isn't it? The time can just slip away so quickly. Netflix can eat up your day. I know what that's like.
Yeah.
So retirement is a challenge, isn't it? Yeah, making good use.
Well, I gotta make sure I have a hot tub a day.
Good.
Go for walks in the trails.
Nice.
Have a couple of beers at the local, and life's good.
Is there a good pub down there, right in the bay?
Well, lots. There's Brewski's.
Nice.
The Lodge and Spa, right down by the ferry dock.
Right.
And there's a couple others. There's Bijou or a Bayou thing, a restaurant with nice Creole food. So I can eat out all the time.
Hey, isn't there that one right at the ferry? Don't they have creme brulee? I heard famously that I should have gone there. It's a slightly fancier upscale place, right?
Well, it's got a pub as well as the fine dining side.
Oh.
And the creme brulee, you got to ask somebody else because I don't eat dessert.
Beer is my dessert. Good man.
And the middle and the end.
Less calories. Yeah.
So do you get a chance to sit down and write songs like now that you've got lots of time on your hands? Seems like everybody does.
Well, I haven't. No, I haven't actually in a little while. So I'm working towards it. I always write things down, little lines here and there, and try and take it from there. But I don't sweat it.
No, you can't do that.
I'm not doing it that much for a living, so.
Well, you put a lot of work into your album, and that was a good time for you. You were very productive and working hard.
It forced me to. I think that's what I work best is under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what's your first tune then?
My first tune. It's a Joe Sharon tune. He's another fellow from from back east, actually.
Hi, Joe.
From Ontario. Hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
And this is one he did. He didn't do it, but I always kept copies of everything I ever did with him when we did gigs together, and I practiced it, and then he heard it, and he went, "Oh, I've never heard it done like that before." And I said, "Yeah, well, I can make all the mistakes I want." All right, here we go. How you doing now, 17? Are you getting any closer to your dreams? Falling out of love and always falling in it. Never sure exactly what it means. Oh, but it sure feels right on those warm summer nights with the moonlight through the trees. Walking in the sand on the beach and holding hands. Oh, you gotta take a chance and gotta feel like dancing. Oh, but if you wanna change it, let your love rearrange it. Wear your heart, I said, wear your heart on your sleeve. But it sure feels right on those warm summer nights with the moonlight through the trees. walking in the sand, on the beach and holding hands. Know you gotta take a chance, and don't it make you feel like dancing? Oh, but if you wanna change it, let your love rearrange it. Wear your heart, I said, wear your heart, wear your heart on your sleeve. Thanks.
Nice. That's a Joe, is it?
That's a Joe.
He's been having a resurgence in the last couple of years, working hard.
He's got a good presence on the web.
He does. He works that well. And he's been back to Ontario to do a tour. And have you been back to play in the House of Temple?
I haven't. I've seen pictures and I got to get back.
Looks quite sweet, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Reformed church. Of course, they don't probably have the fireplace that we have here, but it does look quite good.
Yeah, of course.
It's kind of homey, eh? Makes you feel like you're in the rec room.
Yeah.
So you came from Nottingham when you were young. Well, what age were you when you arrived in Canada?
Oh, I was very young, but a year and a half.
Oh, wow.
I came over in the Empress of Scotland.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah.
And it did not sink, as evidenced by your presence?
Well, it's funny you should say about sinking, because my dad got sunk in the war.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's quite all right. I've gotten over it.
Right. Yeah, so that was insensitive of me to say that.
Not at all. You didn't know.
My dad did about 5 crossings. He was a troop trainer. Okay. So, I mean, who knows how good those Canadian ships were, you know?
Yeah, well, especially with the torpedo in them.
That's right.
My dad was in Halifax, stationed in Halifax.
Oh, yeah. I lived there.
Never went overseas, no.
No, that's all right.
But he had a lot of fighting to do in Halifax.
You got that right. I've lived in Nova Scotia.
On the street. So you grew up in On Terrific, as Dr. T calls it. That's not what I call it. I thought that's what you called it. Oh, no, it's terrific. How old were you when you started playing music?
Fairly late, actually. Well, the first band I was in grade 7, in about 1965 or 6. We played The Graduation.
Oh, nice.
We knew 3 songs. Louie Louie, Louie Louie, and then we did Louie Louie for the encore.
Very good.
And then they got us back 3 or 4 times during the evening, you know. But that was the first band. We had Beetle boots, we had the coats, and it was fun.
The dress was better than the set list. Your costume.
I didn't have to wear a dress.
No, sorry, I meant what was the word I wanted there?
What do you find music does for you? Like when you're playing and singing, learning songs. I mean, you're enjoying it, I know, but you know, like what's the feeling you get from it, the whole thing? You know.
Well, you kind of you think about the lyric, right, and try and get the true emotion of what the lyric says, so that you can make it a little bit more of a genuine experience, I say, you know? Yeah. But and then you sing it, and it's funny because sometimes you start to tear up a little bit, or you know, a little apprehensive because it's a special song, and somebody in the audience may be there that's and you want to make sure it's a good performance. Yeah. So lots of things go through your head while you're singing. You're supposed to keep concentrating on your vocals, right?
So, like, who was you say inspired you? Like, who'd you buy records or listen to a lot when you were?
Well, that's pretty easy, and you'll agree, I'm sure. The band, anything by the band, you know.
Yeah.
Those guys were great, and lots of country music. I love George Jones. I used to tour with a guy, Harold McIntyre. He's a fantastic singer. did the circuit.
George Jones was one of my.
We opened for him one time, yeah.
He ended up having the name No Show Jones.
Yeah.
Because he was late for all his he became late all the time. So people used to get there and they used to bet on whether he was going to show up or not show up.
That's true.
It's true.
We played this trailer park, and he was the headliner, and we were the opening act. Show in the afternoon, show in the evening. Well, first show, he was the best singer I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Just wailing, everything was clicking.
Yeah.
And then if something happened between that and the night show, he just got up there and just started screaming into the microphone and putting it in his mouth, and it was embarrassing. But he was not very good the second show, and he was.
Yeah,
But at least he showed.
At least he showed. Yeah, well, he would stop showing up to shows because he was getting into cocaine and booze and all that stuff at the time.
That'll kill you. Those country boys know.
Yeah, he went over the edge, I think he straightened up near the end of his life, though. I think he found a good woman that straightened him up.
I think so, yeah.
That's when you talk about women. That's one of the things that changed the Wild West was the women, because they were tired of their husbands going out and going into town and getting shot up or losing the farm on a poker game and or stuff. So they started demanding that their husbands stay home and look after the farms and do the right thing, and that's what changed the West.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I read that someplace. I didn't make it up.
It makes perfect sense, though.
No, it did. They just got tired of it.
Yeah, I bet. I was like, you don't do that again.
That's
or
right.
You're sleeping in the barn.
You got kids here, So what have you got for us next?
Oh, okay. Let me see. What was it I was going to do? Let's see. This is one I wrote, and it's been recorded. I haven't released it yet, but it's called What Goes Round Comes Round. Followed my heart to the West Coast. I followed it out to sea. I led with my jaw, didn't hurt at all. Now I'm beginning to see. Filled out of time, Mary, I'm left in the cold light of day. I'm out of here, nothing to fear. Fate finally had its own way. Many's the miles in my heart, son. Things best that I can. Now everything seems so different to me. You know all about the best laid plans. Pull up a seat at the table. Please pass your old glass right down. I'm out of here. What goes round comes round and round. What goes round comes round. Just reap what you sow now. What goes round comes round and round. Thank you.
Inspired by the West.
Actually, Eugene, you were partly responsible for one of the lines in there, talking about talking about the lyric and listening to the content, and pull up a seat at the table. Please pass your old glass right down. Reminds me of the poker games. Your poker games.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve's a poker alumni? I didn't know that. That's cool. Isn't it the greatest thing in the world?
Well, yeah, except we used to play with one guy, and he used to bet everything on the first go around, and it's like, hey, we've got all night here. We're going to take our time. If you want me to bet my 100 Canadian Tire dollars right off the bat, then I'm out of money. I might as well go home or watch TV.
He was always betting 50, 50, 50, 50, and he'd have a pair of deuces, right?
I think I can guess who that was. We won't say, though.
With the Canadian Tire money, that was a lot of fun,
Local musician.
We haven't played since COVID came around, so.
We tried one, but it was a bit nerve-wracking for the host, wasn't it?
We tried one game and then decided not to. It's been almost a year, eh, Billy?
Oh, it's painful, Gene. That's the thing I miss the most.
You can spray down those cards, but after about the third game, they're just noodles, right?
So who's tuned in there, Billy?
Oh, Carol says hi. She came in a bit late. Of course, you let people know that we were 2 hours ahead. But some of our regulars are here. Rob Rusland from Uxbridge.
Ooh, Rob.
Where is Uxbridge? It's
in Ontario. North
I know that, but what part? No, that's it for now. Anybody on Facebook there, Dr. T?
We got Clem Chesterfield watching from Kingston, Ontario.
What a great name. Who is that?
Tim Sheffield. His alter ego. I shouldn't say that out loud because people might not know. But,
Clem Chesterfield. That's a good handle.
He's a good buddy of mine from Kingston from back in the day.
Oh, nice.
Kingston rules, man.
Yeah. Howdy, Clem. That's where a lot of the greats came from, Kingston. Now, we have a part in this closing song, don't we, Gene?
Yeah, but I'm changing it, Billy.
Oh, forget it. We practiced. You can't dangle a carrot like that. I mean, it's your show.
Okay.
Steve and I could walk out,
I wasn't going to...
Don't speak for me. You're not my agent.
Okay, well, if I... okay. So, like, hey! Well, my bills are all due, and my baby needs shoes, 'cause I'm busted. Cotton is down to $0.25 a pound, well, I'm busted. I got a cow that went dry and a hen that won't lay. A big stack of bills getting bigger each day. The county's gonna haul my belongings away. I'm busted. Hey, come on. Well, I went to my brother to ask for a loan 'cause I was busted. I don't want to beg like a dog for a bone, but I was busted. Well, my brother said, there ain't a thing I can do. My wife and my kids are all down with the flu. And I was just thinking about calling on you, 'cause I'm busted. Hey, come on! Could go wrong when he's busted. The food that we canned last summer's gone. Well, I'm busted. Well, my field's all dry and the cotton won't grow. Me and my family got to pack up and go. And I'll make a living just where I don't know. Well, I'm busted right now. Hey!
All right. Thanks for keeping that in. I guess you can have a ride home. Sure. Nice.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you, folks, and thanks, Steve, for coming up from Brentwood Bay, and really lovely to see you and have you as a guest.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody.
Now, here's a thing: is your album still for sale? You should give yourself a plug. It's tell us the name of the album. It's still available, isn't it?
It's called "Sleeping with the Lights On."
Nice.
It'll be out shortly. It's not really out yet. I need to do.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry you hadn't released it yet.
It's all right.
You were spending time over it, making sure it was right. That's okay.
It's all done. I just got to get pressing and printing done.
Good.
That's it.
Well, Pete misses you because he did send in a request a little late, so maybe you could phone him up later and play South of Wawa for him, just over the phone, you know.
Do you know South of Wawa?
Well, that's a movie.
What?
It was a Canadian movie.
He says you have a tune called South of Wawa. That's not right.
Oh, he's mixed up. But
Sorry,
I did
Pete.
have a tune in that movie, and Pat recorded it. It was, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
It was great. We had a great time.
We've straightened that out.
So he thinks that you know the song that you could play, but you don't.
I'm not prepared to do that one.
No, it's okay. You don't have to.
I know.
We weren't putting you on the spot there.
No.
Not at all.
Just wanted you to know that Pete loves you, and Carol
does.
Gordon loves Ray Charles too. Scott Owen says hi. We had him last week.
Yes.
He's back in fine voice. And Joe Gancher says, great show.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And good night, everybody. And we'll see you all next week.
See you next week with
everybody.
Louis Lawless. Thanks to Steve. Thanks to Ted, Trevor, and John. Bye now.
Bye now. Let me wrap you in my warm, tender arms. Well, I love you for a long, long time. Darling, say you'll be mine. Let me wrap you in my warm and tender arms. Now let me wrap you in my warm and tender arms. Let me wrap you in my warm and tender arms. Well, I love you for a long, 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 long time, darling. Say you'll be mine. Let me wrap you in my warm. Let me wrap you in my warm. Come on, come on, come on, baby. Come on, let me wrap you in my warm. Wrap you, wrap you, wrap you, wrap you in my warm. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Let me wrap you in my warm. Let me wrap you in my warm and tender. Oh, come on, 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 come on. Let me wrap you in my warm and tender arms.